I used to believe in soulmates. Not the cheesy kind from Hallmark movies, but the kind that feels like home. I was 27. He was 31. We met at a photography exhibit, both pretending to understand abstract art. His smile felt like sunlight after years of gray. He made me laugh. He made me feel safe. Within 3 months, I moved into his apartment. He said, "I've never met anyone like you." He was the first man I let see my morning face, the first man I gave a key to, and the first man who made me doubt my own mind. It started with the scent, a sweet, floral perfume on his hoodie, not mine. Then the calls he took on the balcony, the turned-over phone screen, the nights he came home smelling like whiskey and guilt, but I gaslight myself before he ever had to. "He loves you," I whispered. "He's just stressed." Until the day I cleaned his car. I wasn't snooping, just trying to surprise him, vacuuming out the back seat. And then, under the passenger seat, I found it. A single gold hoop earring. Not mine. Not my style. Not even close. I held it in my palm and felt the floor vanish beneath me. Everything he ever said, every "you're my forever," every "I'd never lie to you," shattered like glass. I didn't cry. Not yet. Because something darker than heartbreak was blooming in my chest. And that was the beginning of the end. You'd think I'd storm into the house and scream. But I didn't. I tucked the earring into my pocket like a secret weapon, and smiled when he walked through the door that evening. "Hey, babe," he said, kissing my forehead. "You're glowing." I almost laughed. I was glowing, all right, with rage. But I didn't flinch, because I knew that confronting a liar only gives him space to lie again. I needed proof. I needed clarity. I needed control. So I played the long game. That night, I lay next to him in bed, pretending to sleep. He scrolled through his phone, giggling quietly at something. Her, maybe? At 2:13 a.m., he left the room, took the call on the balcony again. I followed, barefoot, silent. I heard him whisper, "I miss you too." Bingo. I took notes, dates, times, locations he said he'd be at. Checked receipts, call logs. His patterns were sloppy. He wasn't just cheating. He was building a double life. Friday nights. Guys' night? No. It was her. And the worst part, she wasn't just a hookup. She had a toothbrush at his place across town. A drawer. A key. I was the other woman, and I didn't even know it. I should have left. But something inside me snapped instead. I wasn't going to cry in a bathtub to Adele. I was going to burn the illusion to the ground. The next day, I created a fake Instagram. New name. No followers. A few staged photos I pulled from Pinterest. I followed him. He followed back. Of course. Then I followed her. Let's call her Chloe, because that's what he called her on the phone, thinking I was asleep. Chloe's profile was exactly what I expected. Sunsets. Yoga. Aesthetic coffee. Hashtags like #blessed and #healing journey. I watched her stories like I was watching my own murder in slow motion. There he was, my boyfriend, hand on her waist, laughing, holding her dog, wearing the same hoodie he wore to brunch with my parents 2 weeks earlier. He wasn't hiding her. He was hiding me. That night, I asked him casually, "Do you still talk to your ex?" "That girl, Chloe." His face didn't even twitch. "Nah. She moved out of state. Haven't talked in months." Lie. 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 I smiled. Just curious. But inside I was cold. Like something inside me had frozen solid. I wasn't heartbroken anymore. I was calculating. See, I knew where she worked, thanks to her geotag. And I knew where he'd be Saturday night, because I made sure to accidentally leave my period tracking app open next to his phone, so he'd think I was sick and cancel plans with me. He bought the bait. He texted me, "You need rest, babe. Let's reschedule." I responded, "You're right. I'll just stay in and sleep." But I didn't sleep. I was already in my car, engine running. Destination, Chloe's workplace. I wasn't going to scream or fight. No. I was going to plant a seed and let the truth grow on its own. Chloe worked at a cozy plant store downtown, one of those places that smells like eucalyptus and overpriced dreams. I walked in wearing a beanie, oversized hoodie, and no makeup. Just another girl shopping for succulents. She was even prettier in real life. Soft voice, gentle smile, Totally unaware she was sharing a man with someone standing 5 feet away. Looking for anything specific? She asked sweetly. Yeah, I said, smiling. Do you have anything that doesn't die when it's ignored for weeks? She laughed. You sound like me. I wanted to scream. We have a lot in common, sweetheart. But I didn't. I bought a small cactus and paid in cash. Then, as she bagged it, I said quietly, Hey, weird question. Is your boyfriend's name Nathan? She froze. Her eyes flickered. Yes, why? I pulled the gold earring from my pocket and placed it gently on the counter. He left this in his car, next to my sweater, after spending the night at my place. She stared at it, then at me, and in that moment, the entire fake world he built cracked to the seams. I'm so sorry, I said. I thought you knew. I thought I knew, but I didn't. Tears welled in her eyes. Not the angry kind, the betrayed kind, the exact kind I'd cried alone 2 weeks ago. I didn't say anything else. I didn't need to. I walked out of that store like I just dropped a grenade behind me. Not to hurt her, but to give her the map I never had. Let him clean up the mess. Let him explain how 2 women both thought they were his only one. Let him suffer through the silence we'd leave behind. Because I wasn't done yet. He deserved to feel what it's like when the lies collapse. And I was just getting started. Nathan texted me that night like nothing happened. Miss you already. Can't wait to see you Sunday. You're my peace. I stared at the messages and almost laughed. Peace. He had no idea the storm was coming. I didn't reply. Instead, I texted Chloe. I didn't expect her to answer. But she did. And what she sent next made my blood run cold. Screenshots. Hundreds of them. Messages from him. Calling me just a fling. Saying I was too clingy. Telling her I was obsessed and wouldn't leave him alone. Saying I faked panic attacks to get his attention. Calling me crazy. He even told her I manipulated him into a relationship. I couldn't breathe. Not because I was heartbroken. That part had already rotted out. But because I realized he wasn't just a liar. He was a performer. A sociopath in a boyfriend costume. Chloe and I FaceTimed that night. It was awkward at first, like 2 survivors of the same crash meeting in the ER. But then it turned into something else. Solidarity. Rage. Strategy. We made a plan. A quiet one. Sunday at 7 p.m. His apartment. He invited me over for dinner. She said he invited her, too. We didn't respond. We didn't cancel. We just said yes. 2 girlfriends. 1 key. 1 man. Let's just say, dinner would be unforgettable. Sunday, 6:57 p.m. I stood outside Nathan's apartment, heart pounding like war drums. But not from fear. From focus. I wasn't alone. Chloe stood beside me. Calm. Collected. Her lipstick perfect. Her spine straighter than I'd ever seen it. We didn't say much. We didn't need to. At exactly 7 p.m., she used her key and opened the door. Nathan was in the kitchen, shirt unbuttoned, candles lit, 2 wine glasses on the counter. He looked up, smiled, then froze. His smile flickered like a bad signal. What's going on? He asked. I stepped in behind her, holding a small dessert box. I brought tiramisu. Hope that's okay. He blinked, glanced between us. Chloe tilted her head. You invited me over for dinner, didn't you? His mouth opened. No words came out. You told me she was crazy, Chloe said, pointing at me. You told me she moved out of state, I added. We stood side by side. Not rivals. Not enemies. Co-authors of his unraveling. I don't know what this is, he muttered, backing away, palms up. This feels like a setup. It is. We both said at once. And then silence. He sputtered excuses. Blamed stress. Alcohol. Childhood trauma. Said he loved us both. Like that was some romantic loophole. I put the tiramisu on the counter. Bon appetit, I said. You'll need sugar where you're going. Then I pulled out my phone. Opened Instagram. And uploaded the picture. Me and Chloe. Together. Smiling. Caption. We both found out. We both walked away. At the same time. Within minutes, his followers saw it. His clients saw it. His mom saw it. The messages started flooding in. He looked like he was going to vomit. We didn't yell. We didn't cry. We just left. Together. Because the worst punishment for a manipulator is being exposed by the very people he tried to break. For 3 glorious days, I didn't hear from him. I imagined him sitting alone in that over-decorated apartment, staring at 2 wine glasses, wondering how he lost both of us in under 10 minutes. But silence was never his style. On day 4 it began. A 2 a.m. voicemail. I messed up, but I love you. Not her, you. Please don't give up on us. Delete. Then flowers. 12 blood-red roses left on my doorstep, with a note that said, "We were perfect. Don't let one mistake destroy us." One mistake. I almost wanted to send him a spreadsheet of his mistakes, color-coded, footnoted, with timestamps. But I stayed silent. He escalated. He texted my mom, my friends, my boss, said I was struggling emotionally and not thinking clearly. He tried to rewrite the story. Classic abuser move. When they lose control of you, they try to control the narrative. I kept all the messages, screenshotted everything, built a folder, because this wasn't just about me anymore. This was about every woman who's ever been called crazy for trusting her gut. And then he crossed the final line. He posted a photo of us, an old vacation picture. Caption: sometimes love stories have bumps, but true love always finds its way home. Thousands of likes. People commented, "You two are soulmates. Fight for her, man. Don't give up." I realized, if I stayed silent, he'd stay innocent. So I answered, not in DMs, not in texts, in public, where he built his lie. I sat on my bed, laptop open, phone buzzing. His latest post, our smiling faces on some beach in Tulum, had over 4,000 likes. He was painting me as the lost love of his life, grieving me like I died, milking sympathy from people who didn't know the truth. It made me sick, so I opened my notes app, and I wrote, "Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was a man who had 2 girlfriends. Neither of them knew about the other. He told each one she was the one. He said the same lines, sent the same photos. He told one that the other was crazy, and told the other that she didn't exist. He gaslight, lied, manipulated, and when we found out, we didn't fight each other. We fought the illusion he created. So when you see his posts, remember, they're just filters. The real story isn't romantic. It's a warning." I hit post, added 2 screenshots. His message to Chloe calling me dangerous. His message to me saying he'd never heard of her. Within hours, comments exploded. Some were supportive. Others were stunned. A few trolls said I was airing dirty laundry. But I didn't care. Because I wasn't doing this for pity. I wasn't doing this for followers. I was doing it for the me who once cried into a hoodie that wasn't hers. For the Chloe who thought he was different. For every girl who's ever been called too emotional for sensing the truth. Nathan blocked me. Then he deleted his post. Then he went quiet. And suddenly, I could breathe again. I thought it was over. After the post. After the fallout. After the masks had been torn off and the truth spilled across the internet like gasoline. But narcissists don't vanish quietly. They come back. Always. One last act. One final performance. It didn't come through text this time. Or DMs. Or even email. It came in the form of a letter. Handwritten. Folded perfectly. Tucked into my mailbox like a ghost from the past. I knew his cologne the second I held the envelope. He sprayed it on the paper, not for scent, but for memory. So I'd inhale nostalgia and forget the damage. I didn't. I sat on the edge of my bed, unfolded the letter and read, "I don't know who I am without you. You saw something in me no one else ever has. I've made mistakes. I panicked. I hurt you. But I never stopped loving you. I choose you now. I always have. Please. One more dinner. One honest conversation. Just us. 3 months ago I would have cried. 2 months ago I would have replied. 1 month ago I might have believed it. Now, I saw it for what it was. Another manipulation. Another recycled script. So I did what he never expected. I didn't answer. I didn't scream or post or show up. I took a photo of the letter. Sent it to Chloe. 2 minutes later, she replied with a picture of her own letter. Identical. Word for word. Only the name was changed. He didn't write an apology. He printed a template. We weren't lovers to him. We were interchangeable parts in a machine he thought he could fix with charm and panic. So I gathered what little of him was left in my apartment. A hoodie, a book, a charger. Stuff I once clung to like they meant something. I tossed them in a box. Left it outside. Not on fire. Not with a note. Just gone. Because that's what healing looks like sometimes. Not dramatic. Just final. And the irony? He'll never understand how peaceful it felt. To no longer care. I didn't check his socials anymore. Didn't wonder where he was, who he was with, what mask he was wearing today. But one day, curiosity snuck in like a thief. I opened his profile. Just once. One last look. It was gone. Deleted. No account. No followers. No trace. A part of me wanted to ask, was it guilt? Embarrassment? But the truth is, I didn't care. That's when I knew it was really over. Because when someone breaks you in half, you think healing is about putting the pieces back together. But it's not. It's about realizing you're not broken anymore. You're someone new. Someone who doesn't settle. Someone who doesn't wait for closure. Someone who builds her own. So I did. I got my own place. Changed my number. Cut ties with anyone still connected to him. I unfollowed, unfriend, unmemorized, unloved. One night, I lit a candle, sat on my balcony and breathed. No tears, no regrets, just clarity. He wasn't my home. He was the fire I had to survive to find it. And in the silence that followed, I didn't miss him. I missed me, the girl I was before him. And now, I was her again. Only stronger, smarter, colder maybe, but free. And that's something he'll never get to ruin again.